This is Armageddon News, the countdown. Today, in a shocking move, the Antichrist Confederacy has been announced in Turkey. In an amazing story that just came out today that was published throughout the Muslim world, including even CNN, the Arabic version. The chairman of the International Union for Muslim Scholars, Sheikh Youssef al-Qaradawi, whose union represents the largest body of Muslim scholars worldwide. On their behalf, he just announced in Turkey that the caliphate, in today's age, must be established through a number of several states that are governed by Sharia, and supported by both the rulers and the people, in the form of a federation or confederation, and not, as it was in the past. By this, the Muslim Union of Scholars led by Qaradawi is setting up the theological precedence by announcing that a future confederacy of Muslim nations must and will be established and centered in the land of the Muslim Caliphate, in Turkey. What Qaradawi is speaking of should be seriously noted, since the interpretation of the prophecy of a future confederacy of 10 nations is found in 4 major passages of Scripture. Qaradawi is declaring the emerging Antichrist Confederacy of Islamic states, which is exactly what the Bible itself warned us about. These passages speak of a 10-kingdom confederation, which will be an important aspect of the end-time political situation. What we see here is the beginning birth of a grand idea being set up between President Erdogan and the spiritual head of the Sunni Muslim world, which they have now declared that such confederacy for the caliphate will be established in Istanbul, Turkey, and will be the center for all these different Islamic states. Qaradawi is pointing to the problem that since Muslims are scattered in so many different states, that it would be impossible to include the coming caliphate as one state, as in the times of old, but must be a divided state, which is also what the prophet Daniel described, in Daniel 2:41, that the Antichrist kingdom would be a divided kingdom, of iron and clay. Shockingly, Qaradawi has also stated that when this caliphate is formed, he believes that President Erdogan has been chosen by Allah to be the next caliph. He has also declared that all the Muslim world will be made to give their allegiance to him. He also stated that once this Turkish caliphate is revived, that the angels will descend to support the Islamic Empire. The Bible speaks about the fall of Satan's angels in Revelation chapter 12. And 2 Thessalonians 2:9 states the Antichrist's coming is according to the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So it's very clear that when these signs manifest in support of the Islamic Caliph, they will be the work of Satan and his demons, trying to deceive the world. The Bible also warns of a day when people will be forced under threat of death to worship by giving their allegiance to the Antichrist, which is the Caliph, and that they will receive a mark on forehead or right arm showing this allegiance. As we have discussed in many of our other videos, we are already seeing the precursor to the mark of the beast being worn throughout the Muslim world, taking the form of head and arm bands, which do in fact meet the biblical requirements for the mark, which is the Greek word charagma, which the Bible clearly states means a stamp, as a badge of servitude. And now all that remains is for this badge to be given to all who swear allegiance to the Caliph. All those who are unwilling to take the Islamic mark will find themselves being unable to buy or sell in the Islamic Empire, just as the Bible foretold. And the third angel followed them, saying, with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, and his image, and receive his mark, in his forehead, or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out, without mixture, into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever. And they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, And whosoever receiveth the mark of his name,